Welcome everyone to today's Empyrion Workshop Showcase. Join me as we take a look at the HWKS Broadway. The HWKS Broadway is an Unlock Level 25, Size Class 8 capital vessel coming to us from creator HIGHL4NDER. Now, the Broadway does not have an on-foot entrance for accessing the ship from on ground, but we're going to start here with the hover vessel entrance, which has to be opened by the hover vessel controls here. You can see here we have a spot marked mole dock, which is for your hover vessel, and it actually has a spot above it where you can place your small vessel as well. While this is a very interesting approach, and I do like the stacked element of it, it does limit you in what vehicles you can place here. In the middle, we have the repair zone, where you see we have our repair bay module. And of course, on the sides, we have shutter doors that conceal a repair station, O2 station, armor locker, and over here, some cargo boxes. Over here, we have another SV landing pad, which is set a little shorter as there is no spot underneath for parking a hover vessel or a secondary small vessel. We do have over here control switch for opening up all of the SV doors, which are the ones on the sides. Both sides have elevators, but we're going to start at the back of the ship, where we have an elevator that leads to the mess hall, an elevator that leads to the captain's only area of the ship, and more importantly, a door in the middle. Coming in this door, you see we have a viewing room for some of our generators, and of course, offline protection and gravity generator. In here, we have our fuel tank storage, which is very nicely laid out, along with our RCS in the ceiling. In this next room, we have our O2 tanks, which are nicely displayed in the walls as the fuel tanks were. We also have in the ceiling nice pipes that give the aesthetic look of having also the oxygen being piped into a proper ventilation system. And in this last room, we have more fuel tanks displayed nicely in the walls. We also have our warp drive displayed here at the back. And here we have an elevator that leads up to the manufacturing, hydroponics, and crew decks and the bridge. So here we are in the manufacturing production area, where you see we have some nice cosmetics here. Makes it feel like there's actually some real components in there going to work. We also have two advanced constructors, an armor locker, a repair station, O2 station, ammo boxes, and cargo boxes embedded in the walls. Now, before we continue up to the bridge, let's take a look at the crew decks and medical bay, as well as the hydroponics area up this way. In here, we have a total of 72 grow plots, which are nicely laid out where you can see them from the hallway. And going into the next room, we have our food production area, where you have some nice kitchenettes, as well as 4 food processors and 8 fridges to make sure you have plenty of food storage for whatever you might make. Coming out of the kitchen and continuing along the hallway and the white line, we see we are at the captain's quarters and mess hall. The mess hall is a very nice little cafeteria type look to it with multiple tables and booths. And on this end, we have an elevator that leads us down into the hangar bay. The captain's quarters is, of course, the nicest living area of the ship, where he has his own desk, has his own little booth table, couch, nice double bed, and of course, a nice medic station and armor locker in here because he's got to stay healthy. He also has his own private bathroom and shower facilities, as well as very nice view outside the ship. There is also an elevator in this room that leads down into the other side of the hangar bay, which to me seems like a little risky proposition. What if somebody gets drunk one night and goes in the wrong elevator and ends up in the captain's bedroom? Continuing down the hallway, you see we have a sign for medical and barracks. The barracks is just simply a set of bunk beds like you would expect, as well as community showers and toilets, because hey, they don't need anything nice. That's the captain that gets the nice stuff. It also has 1 armor locker for everybody in here to use. The medical bay is very nice, very elaborate, but I do feel there's a lot of open space right here in this area. However, it does come with 3 medic stations, a clone chamber, an oxygen station, and of course our medical scanners that are proving to be more and more useful in the game. And last but certainly not least, at the front of the ship we have the very special, very specific, the Picard. Lounge, bar, and grill. So as you can see, this room is one of the 2 most nicely furnished rooms in the entire vessel, with the other one being the captain's quarters. We have our fridge and food processor here, nicely colored to fit in with the wood paneling, as well as this very nice bar here that has only one problem. How does he get in and out of here? Does he have to climb over every time? Seems that it's missing a spot for him to walk in and out. But ignoring that, we do have a very nice lounge couch type area. We do have multiple seats for people to hang out. As you can see, here's 2 guys having a nice little conversation with, I guess, an iPad. And here's 2 guys over here having a bit of an argument, it looks like. I mean, yo, don't do that. That's rude. And then stepping down here, this makes me feel like more of an outdoor deck type area. Like if you're in ship for a long time, having this, it makes it feel like maybe you're stepping down to an outside area, a little balcony overlooking. Because of these nicely decorative lights here, that can help maybe ease your sense of loneliness in the vastness of space. And of course, there are 2 elevator doors that lead back down to the hangar bay from here. Now we still have one place left to go, and that is up this elevator back from the fabrication room into the bridge, where you'll see we have some crew members already here working, keeping things going very nicely. We also have our 2 passenger seats and our pilot seat. At the top of the elevator here, we also, interestingly enough, have our only spot that gives you access to the outside of the ship on foot, which is the very top of the ship. And I don't really see any parking spots, except maybe this little section right here for small escape pods. So I'm not really sure why this was added. It seems a bit out of place compared to maybe having it somewhere else where there's more space on top, or of course closer to the bulk of the turrets where they can be maintained and repaired as needed. The HWKS Broadway is once again an unlock level 25 size class 8 capital vessel. It comes with a total of 48 fuel tanks, giving you 288,000 fuel in capacity, and with thrusters, RCS turned off and docked, you see I have 195 hours of use. With 42 oxygen tanks, it can carry 84,000 O2 and requires 5,970 O2 to fill it up. There are 11 ventilators to accommodate all of the different rooms, as well as 3 oxygen stations. You also, of course, have the 4 medic stations we saw and the 1 clone chamber. When it comes to weaponry, this is definitely well armed. It carries 4 plasma turrets, 2 artillery turrets, 4 minigun turrets, 4 rocket turrets, 6 flak turrets, 6 pulse laser turrets, and 6 cannon turrets. It also carries a complement of 16 cargo boxes and 4 ammo boxes, along with the 9 fridges, 5 food processors, and 2 advanced constructors. Now, being a size class 8 ship, this obviously is going to have a bit of cost to it. The most expensive requirements are the over 36,000 sathium and over 22,000 iron you will need for this. Most notably, you will also need 5,147 erestrum and zascosium, definitely making this a later game ship. Overall, I like the streamlined design of the Broadway. It's easy to get around and straightforward enough that you can go to pretty much any section of the ship using any of the main elevators. The only real issue I have with it is, of course, the fact that it's going to limit you in your selection of hover vessels and small vessels because of the way the landing pads and docking areas are done for those. Once again, this is the HWKS Broadway by Highlander, and if you're interested in checking out this design in your own game, I will have a link in the description below. If you try the design out and you like it, be sure to leave them a thumbs up. Also, leave any creative comments and suggestions on the workshop page as well. Well, that is it for today's workshop showcase. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave me a like, leave me a comment below, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I will see you in the next video.